know, I won't say that Isabelle is useless, but I will say that every time I fight her, the AI just spams that fishhook attack over and over. Yes. Oh, shit, wait, new reviews. Okay, what are we doing? New BMC game, good. 20-minute FMV game should be the perfect way to get back into video production. The last time we heard from our good buddies at BMC Studio, they'd struck out with Sexy Comedy, an animated game where you watched 7 little cutscenes, chose how each scene ended, and effectively had a choice of 2 punchlines to end each joke scenario. Their new game, the Jekoos, has the same structure. It's a series of 11 animated vignettes starring 2 undefinable creatures with chipmunk-esque squeaky voices called Jekoos.
Oh my god, they're attacking us!
Who is attacking?
Magic llamas are attacking us!
They get into hijinks, and each scene has 2 different choices for how the rest of the scene plays out. The difference is that Sexy Comedy made you want to chew off your own face. It had a grand total of 1 halfway decent joke, and a good chunk of the rest of the game was just a series of wildly offensive statements for the sake of being offensive. The Jekoos is not only way sanitized, the material would be PG if not for a few F-bombs, but it has actual jokes and is actually trying to be funny. I'm hesitant to just run through all the sketches like I usually do because some of the bits are kinda decent, and while the other half tend to completely misfire, they're not painful to sit through. They're not meme jokes or cringy adolescent offensive statements, they're just punchlines that don't land. Several of the jokes revolve around the fact that the Jekoos, as well as everything else in the environment, are ink drawings. Both the Jekoos and innocuous objects in the environment spontaneously transmogrify because they're drawings. They are beholden to no laws of physics. The Jekoos will spontaneously combust. There's a funny twist on a Yo Mama joke. A French hobo turns out to be God. There's a scene where one of them accidentally logics himself out of existence. They do a few creative things with the gimmick, and most of the laughs I got were due to humorous subversions that they pull off with the animation.
What's that?
It's your mom.
Really funny.
Let's continue what we started.
The animation itself also looks really good, probably because they hired YouTuber Shadok123 to do the animation, instead of Elaine doing it himself and making everyone look like a static penis man. Like I said, about half the jokes are complete whiffs, but unlike other BMC games, the jokes don't fail because of subject matter. They fail because BMC will have a good idea for a joke and then either not take advantage of it or not follow through on the punchline properly. One of the scenes, a Jeku is playing a Game Boy, and you can have him claim that it's a time machine.
It's a time travel machine. Take it.
Nothing is happening.
And that's it. End scene. How many more jokes could you have done with a time machine? The classic killing Hitler scenario, have him come back with a pet dinosaur or a spaceship. I would have had him go to previous BMC games and Recoil and Horror and Confusion, or riff their previous titles. There were limitless possibilities for jokes, but instead it cuts off, and it's not the only time they do that. The first sketch, you have to select something for the Jekoos to be attacked by, and one of the options is magic llamas.
I don't see any.
Look in the sky! Ah!
Those are clouds.
And the scene ends. There's no humorous reaction or I told you so. I guess you could say this is endemic of even, I'm going to try and say this without having an aneurysm, BMC's good games. They'll have good ideas and then drop the ball on the execution. Other times you can tell they had no idea how to end a scene, so one of the Jekoos will just abruptly explode for no reason. And it works a grand total of once for a humorous punchline.
No, not a bomb.
One of the sketches has a Jeku as a bank robber when the other, dressed as a superhero, drops down from the sky. The robber asks, "Who are you?"
Who the fuck are you?
Maybe this is a dork thing or an American thing, but you ask a superhero, "Who are you?" How is one of the answers not, "I'm Batman"? That punchline was served up on a silver platter. He says, "I'm Batman." The robber says, "Really? Because you don't look a thing like him?" And when he tries to shapeshift into Batman, a copyright takedown happens because they don't have the rights and their world explodes or something. That might have been funny. I don't know. If you have him announce that he's a superhero, he says that the robber has an unpaid $3 parking ticket.
You own the city $3 for parking.
I don't have $3 on me.
I need to take you to the cops then.
It's not bad, but how would I try and make this joke work? Keep your heads down or I'll blow them off! This is a robbery! Not so fast, you ruffian! Damn, man! Yes, it is I, and I have come to bring you to justice for your crimes. If you think I'm going down without you have $3 of unpaid parking tickets! What? The hands of justice wrote you a ticket, and now the fist of justice holds you accountable. Could you come back in 5 minutes? I'll have the money, I swear. Well, luckily for you, I believe in second chances. Whoosh. Well, I must say, it's inspiring to see you repay your debt to society. Good day, good sir! Always nice to see a criminal get their life back on track. All right, now what's this I hear about, a robbery? And thus ends my bid to kill time in a video where I'm struggling to talk about the content. But you get my point, right? Some of the sketches are almost funny or get halfway towards funny, and then the scene just ends because they don't know how to stick the landing. And a few of the sketches, I think they only had one idea for an ending and just had to fudge a second option to fit the game structure. The alternate ending of the superhero sketch, the robber and hero are friends from high school. The robber says he's busy, and then he just blows himself up unprompted for no reason.
See you later.
We needed a second option. Nobody said it had to be a good option. Or sometimes the joke is such a massive non sequitur that I can't tell what the joke is. One sketch, the setup is that one of the Jekoos is reading a magazine about vegetables, and you can have him declare that he's a vegan, at which point aliens pop out of his brain planning a revolution and say they found their new leader.
Congratulations. It's time to start our revolution.
You know, there are plenty of ways to make fun of vegan people and still make sense. About the edgiest the jokes get is two separate vignettes where the punchline is, "My dad is dead." One scene where one of the Jekoos wonders when the other's dad got a limo, and one where one of the Jekoos keeps commenting on every woman on a place is hot, only for all of them to be related to his friend. They're actually not bad setups and punchlines for jokes, except for the fact that you have to select the "My dad is dead" punchline before watching it play out. It completely telegraphs and spoils the joke. In fact, often the joke that plays out in your head seeing a selectable option is better than the joke that actually happens. Like your brain is writing a better script for you before you get to it. Like other BMC games, there are some bonus videos included on the main menu. This time it's 2 videos of the voice actors screwing around. One trying to draw the Jekoos, and one voicing clips from previous BMC games.
Normies, get up. My name isn't Jeff. Bitch, lasagna. Bitch, lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch.
Yeah, you go on ahead. I still need to figure out how you effectively play the Inkling in Smash Ultimate.
Everything. Play everything.
What's funny is I think both bonus clips feature the voice actor stating directly to the camera that they were asked to stretch these segments out for as long as possible. Like they're both going, "Don't blame me, I didn't come up with this shit." I also got a good laugh at one of the voice actors asking for a sequel because he'd like another paycheck. Confirmation that BMC pays their workers, officially better bosses than the guys behind Hunt Down the Freeman. But it's just too bad that you have to slog through really tedious bonus scenes to get to the funny bits. I mean, I get that the point of these scenes is that BMC is trolling you to your face, it's just not that funny. Sorry this video is so short, but this is probably the most, for want of a better term, bland game that BMC has made so far. Without any meme jokes, dumb plots, or trying too hard offensive shit, I don't have a lot to complain about. It's just a few vignettes with no context, and each is a bland joke that either works or it doesn't. I don't want to just recap every scene and spoil the game, and I can't find anything else to talk about. There's nothing to get pissed off about, and it's pissing me off. The reason BMC has taken to releasing animated games is that Elaine, the head of BMC, is in college now. He doesn't see his friends as often, which means they can't get together to film their video games. They're not stopping the live-action games. They've announced on Twitter that a live-action game spoofing the Battle Royale craze is coming soon, but they can't make as money as they used to, and they're experimenting with these animated ventures to fill in the gaps in their release schedule. Thing is, though, I know I complain a lot about the stupid plots and bad jokes in BMC's live-action games, but when they're not making so-called jokes about 9/11 and AIDS, there's a bizarre charm to those games, probably stemming from it being a group of kids having fun, because it's so corny and cheesy. Make no mistake, I do legitimately like Dab Man, Dab Woman, and Kimulator 2. They're just really easy to make fun of. It's a strange magic that they just haven't recaptured in their animated ventures yet, despite Jekoos actually having some decent jokes. I think if they went for an actual storyline where you can use the animation to enhance the story, or even use cheap animation as a source of jokes, they could really have something, but these little sketch shows there's just nothing to them. Jekoos isn't bad, it's well made in the animation department, it just doesn't really do anything for me, and I think that BMC could make a good animated game if they either made the sketches more elaborate or ditched them and tried for a real story. But then Jekoos has been trending for the last 3 days on YouTube because Dan TDM covered it on his channel, so what do I know? Congrats to BMC on having a hit. Me personally, I just think Jekoos is okay. And given the state of the last game they made, I'm perfectly fine with okay.